Portland is a city shaped by its water. With the Columbia and Willamette rivers running through it, it also defines it. We have bridges connecting our neighborhoods from west to east. The life of boating, kayaking, and just river life itself really defines what Portland is and Portland water life can be. So have you ever wondered what it's like living on the water? Today we're going to take you behind the scenes to show you who's building and maintaining floating homes, what the lifestyle is like living on a floating home, and this is something that most people only see from the bridges above. So come on along, let's dive in. From stringers to floats to the finished product, let's figure out how a floating home is made. Today we're here with Jett Even, and the company is?
Even Construction.
Okay, cool. What got you interested in floating homes? It's such a different style of home, stick home.
I was kind of actually born, I guess, into it. My parents moved up here from San Diego, and then my dad actually built his first floating home for my grandparents, his in-laws, his introduction as well as mine. And then fast forward, now here we are, and I'm running the company with him.
So I want to ask, how many homes have you guys built?
Our company's probably built 75 at this point.
That's quite a few. So how long does it take? We're sitting here, there's a 1,400 square foot home you guys are building right now.
Yep.
How long does it take on average from start to finish?
Yeah, so it's usually about I usually give it a 9-month period, give or take, depending on the build. It could be, if it's a real intricate, 3,000 square foot house, it could take longer, but around 9 months is kind of from, plans to building the float, which we do here, and then framing it up.
So now let's go ahead and meet Joe and Colleen, people who have chosen the floating home lifestyle. Why they chose it, what they found the most surprising, and what living on the water is really like here in Portland. One of the first questions I have for you is, what made you decide to live on a floating home?
Well, we didn't really have a desire to live on one until we stayed at my friend Tom. He used to own one down the street here. So we stayed in it one night. We were looking for a home. We used to live in LA, and we stayed it there and drinking wine at about 10 o'clock at night, looking at the moon and thinking, wow, this is great. We love it.
Oh, it is great. What has been the biggest adjustment? So you said you're from LA. What's the biggest adjustment from living in it?
Well, the bad part is the weather in the winter, but the good part is the weather in the summer. So we love it. we're living on the water. Even when it is raining, it's beautiful. So.
What is the biggest myth that people think about living on the water that totally is not true?
Well, first I think it's a floating boat. They ask us how you drive. Do you drive it? If you just explain it to somebody, how do you drive it? So that's the first thing. We do have a license plate on the outside, so it is a structure on the water.
People always ask, I'm really embarrassed, but where does this, when you go to the bathroom, where does it go? All the time.
People automatically think
it goes into the river, and it does not. We're hooked to the sewer and the water to the city, so yeah. That's our biggest question.
Joe and Colleen, thank you very much for having us in your house today. It's a gorgeous house, and if you're ever thought about living on the water, it's definitely something to consider. Come on down, check it out. There's usually anywhere between 40 to 100 homes, again with 1,800 in the area, that are available for sale, and you can check out the lifestyle. There are probably some that people rent out too, and you could just test it, the waters. Did you say so? From the historic bridges overhead to the waters below, living on the water is definitely a different lifestyle. The pace, the community, and just the overall feeling of having water all around you is not necessarily for everyone. I'm Tim Saeland, your host for American Dream TV. Thank you for joining us, and hopefully we'll see you on the next segment.